Welcome to another episode of Me, My Wife, and Sports. I'm your host, Fitz, with my lovely co-host, Darcy.
Hello.
Well, we got a lot to cover. Football is over.
Football is
over. The playing part. Now they get in the trenches and get ready to regroup and rebuild the teams and add some pieces and so forth.
Yep, make sure all the head coaches are in place and start rebuilding.
Exactly. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a good segue into talking about which team prevailed the most or the best this postseason with the hiring of new coaches.
Oh.
Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of who's where and so forth, but the Patriots, they picked up Mike Vrabel. And I think you mentioned he played for the Patriots at one time.
Yes.
He should be a good coach for that team because of the discipline he'll bring, I believe, as well as the game management. He's a good game manager. And the Bears picked up Ben Johnson. You know, there's rumor that he was one of the most coveted coaches across the league for the past 2 seasons, but I haven't really heard much on him myself.
Yeah.
They say he's an offensive mastermind.
And he went to, you said the Bears?
The Bears.
Okay.
Yes. And the Raiders, of course, picked up Pete Carroll.
Right. He's back.
So now I got to hate the Raiders. More so, just so the public know, I'm not a Pete Carroll fan. I'm still sulking over what happened in USC when the NCAA fined them and snatched Reggie's Heisman, but since giving it back to him with everything changing with the NIL. But I just hate that Carroll got away sort of scot-free. He saw the writing on the wall. That's when he went to the Seattle Seahawks, and now he's reared his head again. And we'll see what he does with the Raiders. Because how long was that one coach for the Raiders in? Was he only
Antonio?
A year? Yeah.
It was only a year. Antonio was only there a year.
I tell you, if you haven't proven yourself, you don't get the breaks as some coaches.
Nope. Absolutely.
And, of course, the Jets have picked up Aaron Glenn. And I think Glenn has worked with Carroll, Parcells, and Peyton, and even Campbell, I think, at one point. But, you know, with Aaron Glenn, he's big on defense. So.
Yeah.
And defense win games.
You're right, as the Eagles demonstrated.
Yes, they did, which we will get into that.
Okay.
Of course, the Saints picked up a piece of the Eagles, Kellen Moore.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he'll do well there.
Yes.
Now, the question is he going to call the offense or just be the head coach?
Right.
Because as we know with McCarthy, that didn't work too well.
And hopefully everybody else is out there is figuring that out. That's why they have those positions.
Exactly. And the Jaguars, they end up picking up Liam Cohen. And I don't know too much about him. I've heard his name, but don't know much about him.
Yeah, that name doesn't sound familiar to me.
We will see what happens. And last but not least, Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer. If I was given a letter grade, I would give them Cowboys a C. I think they could have done better in looking for a new coach to bring in.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
But, hey, prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Now, going into the Super Bowl, everybody was rooting and pushing and wanted to see a three-peat, but I was so happy that the Eagles won. And Patrick Mahomes got picked off, 4 or 5 times, something like that, or got sacked 8 times. I don't know. Everything was going against him. Let me just put it that way. Yes, I'm a Patrick Mahomes hater, but I just didn't want to see them win. I just felt something new and fresh.
I felt like, well, congratulations to the Eagles.
Yes.
Philly. Y'all did that thing, and congratulations. I just felt like the Chiefs started believing their own press, and I said that to the boys. But, yeah, they started believing their own press. They started believing their own hype. They were making plans for parties and things, victory parties.
A bunch of three-peat T-shirts and caps.
Yeah, I just think they kind of got ahead of themselves and they didn't take the Eagles seriously. Yeah.
Hey, the media can spin it any kind of way. Fans, coaches, even players can all talk smack, but the proof is in the pudding on the field. That's where the game is going to truly be decided.
Yeah. And it was a good game.
It was.
Oh my God.
Even with the downside of it. And looking at the score,
a good game.
One would think that it was a game was being made out of it, but that was just a blowout from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think Philly ended up putting in other players to get a taste of playing in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, which is fine. And the broadcasting for the Super Bowl, still waiting for Brady to wow me, but it's just not there. And it was funny because the teams, Brady was commentating on Fox, and there was some issue with the teams allowing him in the locker room. They were skeptical because Brady owns a piece of the Raiders, and I guess they didn't want him in the locker room seeing things that pertain to the game since he has a stake with another team. But I think initially throughout the season, he was banned from the locker rooms by the network and the NFL to avoid any issues, but he was allowed to talk and be in the Kansas City as well as Philadelphia, little training sessions to interview players and so forth. They gave him a pass during the Super Bowl, but during the season, he wasn't allowed to do any of that because they concluded that it was more of a conflict of interest in that perspective. And my thing is...
And that makes sense.
Yeah, but if that's going to be an issue, I guess only thing he can do then is conduct a color analysis and not actually do any interviews like some of the commentators we see do the one-on-one interviews and so forth. Or maybe he can, but not in the locker rooms or in the facilities where there is a chance that some information pertinent to that particular team is revealed. But
I don't know.
Also, my thing for Kansas City, or did they get their money's worth from renting Pat Riley's three-peat?
Yeah, for getting a use.
Yes, a use, because I think...
a statement of use on Pat Riley's.
Right, because I think...
Trademark on...
what was it, $600,000? I know he received... Pat Riley, back when Chicago did their three-peat, Pat Riley received $600,000 back then from... so they could use the words three-peat. So...
Wow. I don't know.
So I don't know what it is today.
Like I said,
maybe it's 600 million.
It was those type of things that I think, and I mean, I know there got to be some planning, but that shouldn't have got leaked to the public that those kind of things were going on. So, because it made it look bad on Kansas City. But.
Just also, if the fans or our listeners don't know how the whole three-peat came about, well, Pat Riley, back in his NBA Laker coaching days, which was back in 1988 when he trademarked the term three-peat. And unfortunately, at the time, he thought the Lakers was going to do it, and they didn't. But it worked out for him in the long run because now he owns that and variations of it. And you think about it, since 1988, and that term has been used in other sports.
Oh, I'm sure.
So he's getting paid. What can you say?
Yep.
Smart businessman.
Absolutely.
And now that Philly has won the Super Bowl, and of course, Hurts got MVP because what did he get? 2 or 3 touchdowns? I think he ran in. You know?
Yeah.
But
I can't even remember. Like,
my only concern now is whether or not Philly team sort of disbands. You know, everybody's. Because after you win a Super Bowl, it's payday. You know,
right.
If you're a free agent, you probably go get the best money any time of your career if you were just a mediocre player and not one of the top superstars.
Right.
So take advantage of it. We as the Cowboy fans saw it when the Cowboys were playing the Steelers, and I can't remember the corner or safety. I can't remember, but he ended up getting like a couple interceptions, which the ball was actually thrown to him. And he ended up leaving the Cowboys, and he was playing 1 year somewhere else, sucked, which he sucked for us too. And I cannot think of his name, but I will look it up and let everyone know. But basically, he got paid real good, went to a team, and he was cut a year later from that team. So take advantage of it if you can. Now, I don't know if you heard the news about Justin Tucker, kicker for Baltimore. Well,
yeah. It was
accused of sexual misconduct.
Yes.
By about 3 or 4 massage therapists.
Yes.
And it's my understanding that NFL is investigating him. So I don't know what he gets on the table and what he starts kicking his foot, kicking him in the butt or something. I don't know. Yeah,
but that's too bad.
Did you hear the comparison the Titans head coach did on Shador?
No.
He compared Shador to Joe Burrows.
Oh, I think I might have seen that a while. That didn't happen recently, though.
No,
it's old.
It's probably it happened maybe a month or so ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do remember seeing something on that about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty good, And they basically what Callahan was stating is that makes them both so unique and similar is that they can both anticipate the throw to the player,
Yeah.
with good timing and accuracy is my understanding from Coach Callahan. So whatever all that means, I hope he does well at the next level. Still remains to be seen.
Right. Whatever that level is.
Right. And it's a whole different game going from high school to college to pro. So I hope everyone's ready and capable. Because, I like to see these young guys do well, especially if they got good heads on their shoulder, not going into the leagues, whether it's NFL, NBA, or whatever, and just causing havoc like Butler for the NBA,
Right,
it's
yeah.
like, dude, you don't want to be there. We get it. But you're on that team until something changes, give it your all.
Right. Yeah, just do your job.
Yes.
Just do your job. But
you're too old to be pouting and leaving games, shouting at your coaches, leaving practices, those things. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
I don't either.
Getting paid good money.
Yeah, I don't either.
Now, I know
we can kick that rock all day long.
I know. I'm going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
I am going to leave it alone. Now, your girl, was it Dawn Staley?
Yes.
She's out there on the recruiting trail trying to recruit a big 6'3" female.
And that's, she's on it. She's probably she's being recruited as much as she's trying to recruit,
Right. Right.
One of the things that Asia Wilson, they were saying that when she came out of high school, she had 4-year athletic scholarships to Tennessee, University of North Carolina, and UConn. All the top schools for women's, but she chose South Carolina because that was her home and that was where she was from. And
it doesn't hurt if you got a great team and a great coach in your home too.
And she wanted to play for Dawn.
Right.
Because she knew that Dawn could take her to the next level.
Right.
And that was what she was saying, that young people and people wanting to get into professional sports and things like that, when you're looking at, it's not just about a school, it's not just about where the school is located. You look at that coach and look at how is that coach and that whole team effort going to get you to the next level
or just go
of
through
your
life
career.
In general.
Exactly.
Because you want a coach who, like Deion, he's concerned about those kids' welfare as well as those who want to go to the next level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
coaching at that level in college doesn't end with, okay, you have them for 2 or 3 hours on the court and practice and all that, and then they go to class. And no, you literally are their parents.
Exactly.
At that school.
Parents away from home.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So
you go have the good with the bad and stuff is going to happen. And how you deal with it as a coach means a great deal, not only to that player, but to the school and the public.
Yep.
So it's a big responsibility.
It is.
It is. But the young lady, Olivia Edwards, class of 2026, she had went to South Carolina to visit the school. And I think she went a couple times, one official and one unofficial. But the young lady is 6'3", and they say she has a huge wingspan as well. And they say she could dunk with ease. So she got a little hops on.
Wow.
Because 6'3", you still got to get up there. You know, I'm 6'4", and I remember the days of dunking. I had pretty good hops too, but you still got to make an effort to jump. So it's going to be interesting to see if she actually is going to go there to school. If she does, she'll be playing a forward position.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The women's teams are looking very good. It's going to be an interesting March.
Yeah, March Madness is right around the corner.
Around the corner.
Let me ask you this, though. What do you think of the Dallas and the Lakers trade? Getting rid of Anthony Davis and getting Luka.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Luka Doncic was traded to the Lakers.
Yes.
In a backdoor deal for Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis didn't know, Luka didn't know.
And they said LeBron didn't know.
Ooh, and that's a big, but Right. But so far it seems like it's working because they played a couple games together. I think at least one I know of. And they both had pretty good stats. I think LeBron had more points, but they were comparable with rebounds and assists and steals and so forth. But so far it looks like it's working.
You know, they said the Lakers have a history of major game-changing trades.
Hey, just like the Cowboys, right?
So,
well, the Buss family have owned the Lakers for a long time, and Mr. Buss, or Dr. Buss, God rest his soul, was a hell of a businessman overall. So he was a shrewd negotiator. They don't make him like him and Al Davis and some of those guys anymore, you know? And Jerry is one of the
last of the Mohicans.
Right.
He the last of them.
Right. Now, I don't know if you saw, though, there were some notable first-time Pro Bowlers for football.
No.
Jaden Daniels. Sam Darnold.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Zay Flowers.
Okay.
Any other ones that you might know
of? Nico Collins.
Right.
And Brock Bowers.
Who did he play for?
Tight end for the Raiders.
Okay, yeah. So, and Darnold, he did well this past season because when I think about him, I go back to when he played with the Jets.
Okay. That's way back.
Yeah, but he's with Minnesota and he did well.
Oh, yes. I thought he did well too. I don't know. It's not going to come to me right now in this moment, a flashback of their season where they went wrong. But you think about it, they finished well. And a lot of that was...
people thought they were going to go further, though.
Absolutely. They did.
But it's all how you finish. They started off well in the season.
They started off real strong, and then they kind of got some injuries.
Yeah.
And that took some people out. But, yeah, he had a good...
Well, the same way with Detroit. They had a whole lot of injuries,
yes.
Down the stretch. So, now, did you hear about the umpire for baseball, Pat Holberg? He was fired by Major League Baseball.
Why?
Because he had a betting account where he can place bets and so forth. Well, supposedly, he let his friend use the account, and his friend placed several bets. And it just so happens some of the games were being umpired by Pat Holberg. So I guess even though he said it wasn't him, and he wasn't part of it.
Okay, so clearly.
So why your friend couldn't get his own damn account? Why does he need to get on your account?
Yeah, and he gonna have a really hard time with that defense because those devices, when you download that app, it's tracking you.
Right.
That app has a GPS.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And so that's how the app knows if you go outside of your area, like if you live in D.C. and D.C. can Some places in DC, I think.
No place
in DC
yeah.
is.
So as soon as you call it, they sort of blocks it.
Right. So if you live in Maryland, let's say you live in Maryland and you have the MGM app and you go into DC.
Right.
And you try to place a bet, it won't let you.
Right.
Because it has a GPS in there.
Well, it was said.
Everybody needs to know that.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like this guy was just logging into his account.
So
where he was, I don't know. But basically, he made 141 baseball bets between April the 2nd,
how much money
2021,
did he make?
and all the way to November 1st, 2023, totaling $214,000.
See, and
with an overall win of nearly about $140,000.
That ain't enough money. Like we always said, it just
but
that math ain't mathing.
Why even take a chance?
And the whole storyline about the GPS thing in the app is like you said, oh, my friend was using my app. Well, how is your friend using your app? You see what I'm saying? Because if it's on your phone and all your devices, because they can track it to where where it's.
But he
could
have logged into a computer, and I don't know if he was betting on apps.
Oh, but see, every device.
But he said he had an account.
Yeah, but see, every device got it. The point is that's just going to be another way.
Yeah, it's tied to
that story ain't gonna fly.
Yeah, the guy could easily made his own account.
Yeah.
Why does he have to use your account?
Yeah, that's. Oh my God.
Yeah, so who knows?
So crazy.
And I don't know if I mentioned to you, they're trying to get a WNBA team in Nashville, Tennessee?
No, I didn't know that.
Peyton Manning and Candace Parker are leading the team of investors.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
And there's talk that I'm glad to see
combination.
And I'm glad to see these athletes, former athletes,
teaming up,
getting into the business that they either played in or a sport they like, instead of just being the pawn.
Right.
And all these other folks getting rich who never played a sport, but just dealt in businesses.
Right.
Now, the name of the team that they're looking to name it is the Tennessee Summit, after Pat Summitt, who used to coach at Tennessee.
Oh,
because she passed and all.
Yeah.
And this is a way to honor Coach Pat Summitt.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. So, I think that'd be interesting. And I think
that'd be nice.
It would be a good management of folks under Candace and Manning.
Yeah.
They will bring in the right people with the right staff, with the right mindset, I believe, in the front office as well as on the court.
Yeah.
And, that makes for a good environment for everybody.
Absolutely.
Everybody's not going to be 100% happy, but at least it's not the team or the management, it's the person.
Right. Right.
So more to come. Now, one thing I want to really talk to you about, which was with the NIL, ever since that has come sort of to light more and more, I had to see for myself who in high school is benefiting from this. For, as you know, if you commit to a school, you can start collecting on the NIL piece.
Right.
Name, image, and likeness.
Yes.
So I did some research and pulled up a list of folks who are getting NIL money. And I'm going to just let you look at this list and sort of see some of the names and the schools that they're going to and the amount of monies that they're getting in high school. Now, some are already in college.
Yeah.
But some are still in high school.
I think most of those top names right there all are in college now.
Right. And that's just, even the college here, let me tell you with the high school, this one kid, Nate Ament, he's the number 4 recruit overall, and Duke is trying to get him. Mm-hmm. And the way things are going, he might be leaning toward, he did a visit and so forth, but I think they have a good chance of getting him. But this kid is making, now he's still in high school. I just had it in front of me. Now I lost it. So moving on.
Oh no, like everybody's waiting.
I know,
Okay,
and
now
I had
this
it in my
kid
notes in
is
front
like,
of me.
what? Yeah, he's just gonna talk about. Okay, never mind. Moving on.
I had it written down how much he was making.
Oh, the NIL.
Yeah.
Oh, but you lost it.
I did.
Okay.
But I know it was.
All right.
It was between 2 and 3 million.
Now you're just gonna have to make a note. We're gonna have to revisit this NIL issue. We'll be old business on our next podcast.
We'll do a NIL valuation on the various players. Like, for example, the one I was telling you about, like, who's already in college, who's a junior or a senior, Arch Manning.
Right.
At Texas, he is making, doing the NIL, $6.5 million.
Wow.
Yeah. And Cooper Flagg, $4.8 million.
Yeah, he's the one at Duke. Yeah.
Basketball player, freshman, which I think he's going to go pro next year. So, hey, we'll see.
All right. Also, interesting.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, let's make that the next go-around.
Yes.
Then. Yeah. That'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, my condolences. I don't know if this is a track and field guy, Greg Bell. He ran in the 1956 Olympics doing the long jump. He was a gold medalist. Well, back on January 25th, he died in his home. And he was 94 years old at the time of his death. And he was the oldest living U.S. track and field Olympic gold medalist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So our condolences to Mr. Bell's family and friends.
Absolutely.
He will truly be missed.
All right.
Well, this brings our show to a conclusion. But before I do that,
oh, goodness.
I got to have my trivia. Come on now. All right. Little known sports fact this go around.
All right.
NFL water boys, how much you think they make?
I don't know.
They earn between $50,000 and $60,000 per year during the regular season.
So is the water boys, are they assigned to a team or are they assigned to a stadium?
No, the team hires a water boy.
Okay.
As part of the
so every team has their own
trainers, water boys, and all.
Okay.
Are
they like
water gals?
Yeah, like are they water people?
Water people. Yeah.
How about that? Water people.
We call them
now?
water people. Yeah, because they've been known to be called water boys, so we can call them water ?
Yeah, water people. We'll call them water people.
Yeah. But they make anywhere between $50,000 and $60,000, and depending on the team and location, and whether they are retained year round, it can even increase. Yeah.
Interesting.
Very much so. All right.
All righty.
Well, we want to thank all our listeners for tuning in. And if you want to listen to any of our episodes or drop us a line, you can reach us at memywifeandsports@yahoo.com or memywifeandsports.buzzsprout.com. All right. You can listen to any of our episodes or just drop us a line and say, hey, you enjoyed the episode, or if you have questions that we can address. So with that said, Darcy, any final thoughts?
Nope. It's always fun. And everyone have a great evening. And just remember, your mate is a reflection of you.